Okay, we have, CIZZLE. Hey everybody. So yeah, with CIZZLE, we're a group that performed here at the Kansas City Hackfest out of people from San Francisco, Amherst University, Chicago Planetarium. And we started with the question, what will education and scientific collaboration look like in the near future? We hope not like this. We are on the verge of a big paradigm shift in use of technology in education. For example, the Los Angeles Unified School District will implement tablets for all 650,000 students and 30,000 teachers in 2013, mostly to save money on textbooks. But this also paves the way for meaningful new educational and collaboration experiences. An image shows more than 1,000 words, and we think that a simulation can teach more than 1,000 images. 3D and 2D simulation helps simplify complex, abstract, and possibly large amounts of information into a coherent form. Cool, man. But why Gigabit? Well, it's about the brain. If these experiences aren't as fast as we can think and interact with content, if educational learning experiences can't compete with the video games and great movies that our kids are watching day to day, it's not going to be engaging, it's not going to be intriguing. The same is possibly true for science exploration. And we want to do that and give people the tools to collaborate and see things together and also update their own data while they do that. And we believe that the pipes, even the gigabit pipes, are pretty quickly going to be too small. So we wanted to explore how teaching and collaboration using rich media simulations and managing large data sets could look like. And CIZZLE is a prototype, it's actually 3 prototypes, of real-time 3D and 2D collaboration environment running in web browsers and high-speed internet. Let's do this. 19. So this is a web browser. And let's all go to the solar system. Can we see it everywhere? Roxanne? Yeah, that's awesome. So let's just say I'm a teacher and I want to show the kids around the solar system. So I'm just going to pilot this experience right now. And I can broadcast this data in real time over Gigabit Ethernet. There's some pretty cool features in here. You can fly the cameras around and show it from far away. And you can go back in. And, you know, just because sometimes it's hard to see what's happening, you can also speed up the orbits, scale the planets. All of these are things that are happening in traditional classrooms of the wooden planet solar system model that are now really powerful simulations, and these could lead to lesson plans from pre-K to 12. You can explain the colors of the planet up to velocity, exit velocity planning for kids in 12. Let's just go a little bit closer here. Home. And this is a hackathon, so it's a bit of an experimental feature. But we also want people to contribute. So for example, if we wanted to see what the sun would look like in the near future, we do it like this. Or make it look like a kid. And you see here pretty quickly that these textures of 3D models could be fairly large, and it updates in real time is essential to the experience. I actually have a couple of my team members in the audience, I think, with some of these simulations, if you can see it better there. Great. Okay, Roxanne, let's go home. And I'm going to hand the microphone to my colleague, Ami.
Hi there. So another use case for this is actually reaching out to the professional scientists. So what's actually going on here is we're sending over real astronomical data, and one of the benefits of using the Gigabit network is that these images are actually quite large. So they can range from a few megabytes to tens of megabytes to hundreds of megabytes to actually gigabyte-sized images. And using a Gigabit network would be nice to actually transfer these images around. On top of that, it would be nice to actually create a collaborative environment. So what's going on here is we've transferred 3 images over the web browser, and again, this is like raw astronomical data, and we're mapping it to a color image. We're mapping it to an RGB channel on the client side. So what's common to each one of the clients is that we're accessing some data from a central source, and the collaborative effort comes in that I can actually maneuver and drive this around So if I have a colleague that sits across the country or in another part of the world, we could be looking at the same data set because we might be on high-speed connections, but I can actually have a more intelligent discussion with him because we can actually focus in on an image at hand. Let's see, so I can zoom in and he can follow the cursor and we can start observing different objects that might be around. So let's see. So another one of these benefits is that since these images are quite large, they carry a high dynamic range, and we actually like to be able to manipulate our images much like in Photoshop. So since we have a lot of this raw data sitting on the client side, we can start to create nice renderings and adjust these renderings. So actually what's going on here is, for instance, if there seems to be a pretty dark patch of the sky right here, but we can actually manipulate the data on the fly and see that there's a lot of structure there. And this is very important for scientists in general because they have rich data sets. So moving on, we have one last thing to show.
One last thing. Thanks for being with us. Let's go to home and go to our friend Curiosity. So thanks to a collaboration that we're doing with NASA. Oops. Here we go. So NASA and JPL. We were allowed to bring an actual real model of the Curiosity rover. And we should refresh this. Get my UI. Here we go. And this is like the solar system fully articulating. And we can drive it around, turn it, we can fold it for transport, we can unfold it, and thanks to Jazz, I think we can also make it dance. And I wanted to do one last thing before we conclude our presentation with this little dance, is that what's exciting about having Gigabit going to schools and into the homes is that the kids could actually this experience, they can take it home and they could seamlessly continue to interact with it, do their homework with it, and bring it back to school without ever having to leave this environment. Thank you very much, guys.
I don't know if it was quite clear, those are all separate, like instances, like separate browsers, separate computers running off a single thing, right?
Yeah, so we have 3 different computers. Communication is happening for WebSockets, and so everything actually stays in sync via WebSockets. So we do have 3 machines here. We have X number of clients. So it would be nice to actually know what the limitations are in scaling this up.
Software lending library, come up and set up.
So if you guys want to go to 10.18, 14.2, those of you who have a black cable, you can actually play with this all together. So thanks for the question, Will. Yes, this is supposed to be a widely distributed collaborative environment. So you can see it up there in the browser, and you can go to the landing page, and you can click around. We don't know what's going to happen to that in wireless, but feel free to break it. We didn't want to break it on stage, so we're telling you now to do it, not at the beginning. Any more questions?
I have a question. So, are you guys really doing this as a company, or is this just cool technology?
My company in San Francisco collaborates with Mozilla and the Department of Energy on building this into a real learning experience. But we had a lot of great conversations in Kansas City with you guys about how this could maybe make more sense on high-speed networks, higher speeds than we have in San Francisco right now. Thanks again.